We're going to take a look at the Lake View Campground at Lake Scott State Park in Scott City, Kansas. Check it out. Hey guys, I'm Kevin with Camp Outside, your inside source for all things outside. Well, today we're going to do a little bit different of a campground review than I normally do. We're at Lake Scott State Park in Scott City, Kansas. It's in western Kansas and it's right on, as you can imagine, Lake Scott. This is an interesting state park in that it has different campgrounds and campsites all around the lake. So we're in the Lake View Campground and it is sites 101 to 118. And there are a bunch of sites and a bunch of campgrounds in this park. I'm only going to review the part that we stayed in, which is the Lake View Campground. I'm going to give you some positives and negatives, but first let's get into the specifics on the park. Lake Scott State Park is located in western Kansas. It's easily accessed by Denver, Colorado, Cheyenne, Wyoming, Lincoln and Omaha, Nebraska, or Wichita, Kansas, Kansas City, Missouri, and Oklahoma City. Lake Scott is not a very large state park, but it is a pretty cool park with the lake being the main feature. The campground that we're going to talk about in this video is the Lake View Campground, and it's indicated by the red arrow. This is a small campground with electric and water hookups, but no restroom nearby. Here's a look at the campground map from the reservation site. Okay guys, so the first part that I want to mention is this part of the campground, while is equipped with water and electric hookups for RVs, it does not have a restroom nearby. The closest restroom is a pit toilet that isn't in this campground at all. It's maybe a half-mile walk, maybe. Yeah, probably about a half-mile walk. So if you have a camper or an RV and you use the facilities in your camper or RV, you'll be fine here. But if you don't, this might not be the campground for you. I was looking at the map when I booked this site and I saw a picnic pavilion that I thought was the restroom and it wasn't. So we don't have a restroom in the cargo camper, so we use and rely on restrooms and shower houses. So we have to drive to the restroom and shower house over in the big campground area. So that's a knock against this campground if you need a restroom. The positive side of things, though, is that it's a smaller, less busy, quiet, easy access to the lake. So I like this campground from that perspective. If they put a restroom and shower house somewhere here, that would be sweet. There's also some extra parking and the sites aren't too bad. I think pretty much on every single one of these sites, you're gonna have to do a little bit of work to level your RV or travel trailer, but there's plenty of grass to pitch tents, pitch screen houses, put up easy up canopies. You get a decent amount of room per site. You don't get a lot of vegetation to block sight lines, right? So this campground is wide open. You're gonna see your neighbors and they're gonna see you. So just be aware of that. But all in all, guys, this is a pretty nice place to camp, and Lake Scott is cool. My son just caught a fish. There are some neat parks nearby to go check out. If you haven't seen our camping video from this park, I'm going to put a link right up here where you can check that out. But enough about that, let's take a driving tour. For our driving tour, we're going to follow the path with the red arrow. Notice that I actually colored in a portion of the road there that doesn't exist on the map, but absolutely exists in the campground, as you're going to see. So as we come in from the road, we're going to turn in. Traffic travels in both directions on these campground roads, which is good because you may decide you want to access your campsite from one direction versus the other, depending on how you want to set up. So as we go past this intersection here, this part of the road is not on the campground map. But as you can see, it absolutely does exist. There's no campsites on this part of the road, but it gives you great lake access and extra parking. So here's one of the extra parking spots. You can see there off to the right is a picnic pavilion that I made a mistake and thought it was the restroom, which doesn't exist in this part of the campground. Great lake access off to the right here, and of course off to the left are the campsites. So we'll make our way around this road. And you can access one site off this part of the campground, and that's the last site, site 117, which is a pull-through site, as you'll see. So on the left there, we're going to be approaching the cargo camper. You see with the Camp Outside logo on the back. That's site 116. It's not a pull-through, but site 117, right next to it, is a pull-through, as you see. On the right is lake access and extra parking. And so as we come up the hill here, we're going to pass this road. We're going to come back down that road in a second. But as we turn left here, we're going to pass site 103 to the right. And that schoolie is in 102, I believe. And that RV is in site 101. We're going to come back to the road and turn a left again, and then we're going to cover the rest of the sites. We're going to follow the path with the red arrows. So as you can see, this campground in this park isn't very big. There are some much bigger campgrounds. Not all the sites have water and electric hookup, so just be aware of that, as I mentioned before. Okay, we're going to turn left here, and so on our right is site 110, and on the left is 104, and then 111 on the right, 105 on the left, 112 on the right, 106 on the left, 113 on the right, should be 107 on the left, and then site 114, and then on the left there is site 108, on the right is site 116, and then on the right again is 117, which is the pull-through. So another thing I'll say, guys, is that from driving around and looking in the different campgrounds that are at this park, not all of them have water and electric hookups. So if you're a tent camper and you don't need or want that stuff, there are definitely some other sites for you. There are also some one-off sites around the lake where you can get a lot more privacy, which is pretty cool. So if you need electric hookup, if you need water hookup, make sure you book a site that has those. But if you're looking for a good place to RV camp and you don't need a restroom nearby, I would check out the Lake View Campground. I like it a lot. Guys, I'm Kevin with Camp Outside, your inside source for all things outside. We exist to help moms and dads take their kids camping, hiking, fishing, learn about nature, and develop a conservation ethic. We want to help you get you and your kids outside. So if you have any questions about camping here at Lake Scott State Park, drop some in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Or if you've stayed at Lake Scott, tell me where your favorite place to camp is. This is my first time here, so I am by no means an expert on this park itself, but it is cool enough that I definitely wouldn't mind coming back here and spending a little more time on the lake, especially if I could bring a boat with me, because that would be a whole lot of fun to fish the lake from a boat. That'd be sweet. But guys, all in all, if you're looking for a place to stay and you don't need a restroom, Lake View Campground, pretty cool. So thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't yet, give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe, and give me a little bell icon click so that you can be notified when we release new videos. And you can also connect with us on other social media. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and X, or our website at campoutside.com. Guys, this is part of our 2024 summer trip. We're going all the way from our house in Tampa, Florida to the Pacific Northwest and back. Lots of campgrounds, lots of camping, lots of hiking, lots of all kinds of stuff that we're going to be producing here on Camp Outside from this trip. So if you like that kind of stuff, definitely hit subscribe and follow along with us, or connect with us at our other social media. Guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.